Hello everyone, welcome back. It's been a little while, as you can probably tell by how long my hair is, and a few things have happened since then, which we're not gonna get into it right now. But I am really excited because I wanted to do a video like this for literally since I started this channel. And I remember when I was growing up, I would watch a lot of the beauty influencers on YouTube do their year empties, which is basically where you collect all of the empty vessels of products that you had used throughout the year. And they would sort of do in categories like skincare, hair, makeup, but I don't really feel like I use that much product as a single person in a year. And so I did my best to collect everything that I had used in 1 year, and let's go through what I ended up using and if I liked it or didn't, and if I'm gonna rebuy or not. The first item is the Ordinary Moisturizer, which I think I have been using for the past multiple years. I used to use other moisturizers and I used to try out a bunch of things, but literally I have used 2 of these in 1 year, probably more. 2 was just the amount that I saved the packaging from. And the thing that I have to admit is I'm one of those people who wants to use every last drop of every product. And so what I actually do is I cut up all of the bottles until I can get into it and get literally every scoop, because you'd be so surprised. You use a bottle and you think it will be done, and then you cut it open and there's literally like multiple applications worth, if not more. Like, I have had these cut open, and what I usually do after I cut them, I'll cut the middle portion off, and then I will just bend the bottom part in so that the top can go on like a cap, like that. It kind of keeps it fresh-ish. I haven't had that many issues with it, and plus I use this twice a day every day, and so it's kind of gone relatively quickly anyway. I don't really generally have any problems, but it also makes it easier to carry because this cream is a little bit thicker, so it wouldn't just drip out of the bottle when you're traveling. They do sell a smaller travel size though. I think it's like 30 mils, which I do find quite convenient, so you don't have to go to this extreme, but you can just continue using it until you completely empty the entire container. So I used 2 of these last year. This feels like some kind of net achievement because I don't think I've ever expected to finish one of these, which if you live in Australia, you're probably familiar with, is the Lucas Paw Paw ointment. I almost exclusively use this on my lips, and I did have someone in my past who studied medicine who told me not to do this because apparently it's not good for your lips, but I just haven't found anything that works as well as this. And I also find this really useful, you know, when you get sick with a cold or something and you keep blowing your nose, you keep rubbing it, and it gets like rubbed raw because of it. I usually just put this ointment on around my nose before I go to bed, and it helps so much. Like, it just keeps it all moisturized. I actually have a little bit of dryness, I don't know why, around my nose. I've had it for a while now, but if I find that I wake up in the morning and it's like that, I will literally just put some of this on, and it really helps, at least with the way that it looks, and it won't look super flaky and like dry. And the only reason I know that I finished that is because, again, I cut this thing open and I literally scraped it out with my nails, and I used it down to the very last drop, so you know that this is a good empty. I can't even find the top. I literally just have this little thing in my bag. The next item is another holy grail that I have, and it is this face wash that I used 2 of last year. I think I started using this in uni when I started having a little bit of luck with my acne, and I maybe placebo pilled myself into thinking that it helps. But I mainly like it because it's a foaming face wash and it comes out in a foam, which is not like a huge selling point of this product, but I just find that if you've seen my skincare videos before, I can really get into all the crevices and I feel like it helps. So this is my absolute favorite face wash. I am currently using a different face wash, but I'm using the CeraVe one, which I personally don't really recommend. When I first started using it, it actually stung a tiny bit, especially around my eyes and where my skin is a bit more sensitive. But if you can tell by all the containers I cut open, I'm not someone who wastes product. So I'm waiting to finish that one before I can buy another one of these and continue using this as my regular face wash. The next product that we have is the Ultraviolet Queen Screen. The next product that we have is the Ultraviolet Queen Screen. It's basically a sunscreen. I was recommended this by one of my coworkers at work. She's a big fan of this product. I will say I can see the benefit in how light it is and it absorbs really well. I'm not a huge fan of the packaging. I mean, I can appreciate it being in a glass bottle and everything, but it is quite heavy, and the way that the applicator works is you can't really get in there and get every last drop, which for me is a problem. So I think there is still like a tiny bit of product left in there that I can't get at. The product itself is fine. It is quite pricey, but I probably wouldn't repurchase this just because of the heft that it has, the size that it is. The packaging takes up a lot of room in my bag. These little squeezy bottles, I don't mind them, but it also is just like more space. I will say though, for this company, they had really good customer service, because when I first ordered the product that came was a little bit grainy, and it kind of just like didn't break down even when you rubbed it. And I emailed them and I was like, did I get a bad batch? Is it just too cold or something? And they emailed back and they said, oh, that shouldn't be the case. Let us send you a replacement. So they actually sent me another 2. So I was using the 2 new ones that they sent me, but I was kind of thinking about these and I didn't really want to throw them away because they felt like a waste and I couldn't give them to anyone. And I was thinking, okay, the grainy thing would really just bother me if it was on my face, but I put sunscreen on my neck as well. And I was like, there's no reason why I can't just use the dud ones on my neck. Like, worst case scenario, I'm gonna maybe get a rash on my neck. It's way better than getting it on my face. So I ended up finishing the 2 that were faulty. I hope it doesn't have any lasting impacts. I still don't really know what those grains were, but I kind of would just work it into my skin and kind of brush a little bit and it wouldn't really bother me throughout the day. So I've used 3 of these that I have a record of last year. They're not that much. It's like 50 mils per bottle. So I go through it pretty quickly and I use quite a lot of sunscreen, but I would not buy these again just because of personal preference for me. They're fine if you want to try it. I think it's a great sunscreen if you're into something lightweight and good quality. I just personally wouldn't buy it again for the reasons that I said before. Next, we have the Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream. I don't remember how I first originally stumbled upon this. I think I must have just picked it up because I saw an article or something about it and I wanted to try it out. And I gotta say, again, I don't know if it's in my head or something like that. I bought this cream and then I used it one night. And the next morning I looked in the mirror and I literally saw a difference. I don't know, I literally felt like I looked better. I don't know if I was in the middle of my cycle where I looked better in that period of time, you know how it is, or if it was actually the cream, but I genuinely just felt like this cream was doing things and I liked it. So I ended up using this all up and then buying a refill, and I probably will continue to do this because I don't know, I kind of like the idea of treating myself. I only use this once a week, but I like the idea of treating myself once a week to something nice. Plus, I really do like the applicator. They have this like little pump approach, and then you just swipe it from the pump. And I kind of feel like, yeah, it's a little bit bulky like the sunscreen, but for this, I don't usually bring it with me when I'm on trips. I just use my ordinary moisturizer. So it's like a nice little treat waiting for me when I get home. And I like the sanitary aspect of this kind of cream where it just applies one perfect amount for your whole face every time. And the last product, I don't have a nice container to show you, but it is the Beauty of Joseon Relief Sun Rice and Probiotics Sunscreen. This is my current holy grail sunscreen. My friend introduced it to me, and probably one of the main reasons why I wouldn't rebuy the ultraviolet sunscreen. It's, again, very lightweight, applies really, really nicely, and it is in a nice little squeezy bottle, so it's really easy to, 1, get in there and get all the rest of the product, and 2, chuck in your bag because it's malleable. And I will say, I'm kind of really used to now the amount that I need on my finger to get an even application over my whole face. And it was weird because it was kind of only with this sunscreen that I realized how much I need to use on my face, like the perfect amount. Kind of what I aim to do is I'll put a big dollop on my finger and I'll imagine I'm using one of those paint spatulas. And when you spread paint on a palette or when you spread butter on toast, even when there's like a big dollop of butter on your knife, you want to apply it in a way where you leave an even layer gently over the top. You don't want to like press it in really hard but it doesn't leave anything behind. You want to just kind of spread it gently. And that's kind of the approach I take with the big dollop, is I'll just spread it and leave like almost like one of those, you know, paints that you would put on your face before a big game or something, and you do the same thing on every surface. And that way when you spread it, it's literally the correct amount and there's no pulling, there's no excess. It's just literally the right amount of sunscreen for you to be able to cover the area that that line is responsible for. So I do stripes on my cheeks, one on my chin, one on my forehead. And what I've noticed is also I get tan a lot more in these corners, probably because I put sunscreen here and it doesn't spread far enough, so then I put 2 extra ones here and then it kind of like covers the whole area. So if you find that you're having trouble putting sunscreen on your face and putting on the right amount and getting the right coverage, you can maybe try allocating it that way, and you find that you actually need to use a lot more sunscreen than you think. I would definitely be rebuying this. I've actually bought it in bulk, and I think recently a store opened in Melbourne where they sell this locally. Previously I had to get it shipped, so that's really good news. I'll probably pick it up locally from now on. Now we're gonna move on to hair care. Again, I must apologize in advance. I've absolutely hacked these into pieces because, again, I want to use every last drop of the product. The first item we have is the Pantene Smooth Shampoo. It's been destroyed. I'm impressed it's one of these big ones. I think I must have shared it with my mom or something, and then when I moved out, I took it with me. That's how I could have finished it all, but I have been using Pantene my whole life. Like, my mom used it, so I used it. I didn't really think that hard about it. And I think we've always used the smooth line. I generally don't see any issues with my hair when I use this, and it's probably because I've used it my whole life. But I will say, when I went to the salon to get my hair bleached and they asked me what product I use and I said Pantene, they were like,
"You use Pantene? Oh my God."
Because I told them that when I go in the shower and I wet my hair, the water glides off my hair like water off a duck's back. It's like water repellent or something. And they were like, "No wonder your hair is like that. You probably have a film on it from Pantene." And I was like, what? No one told me. So I stopped using this, but I did finish it before I use it because your girl does not waste things in her life like this. Won't be buying this again, but used it for my whole life before now. The next product that has been completely bisected is the OGX Coconut Conditioner. I was telling myself that I used this because it was a good product, but genuinely, I think I was using it because I like the smell. I will say this is not cheap per se. I would maybe stock up on it every time it was on sale. Again, didn't see any issues. I probably started using these when I was in university, and I used them probably for a few years. And I'm a creature of habit, so I probably used the exact same one, like same smell, same brand, same line, for a few years until I got my hair done. So again, I would recommend it. I think it's fine. I personally didn't have any issues with it, but again, my hairdressers were like, you need to use better products. So I will show you what those better products are now. So the products that my hairdressers sent me home with is the Schwarzkopf Boner Cure products, and it is the Repair Rescue Arginine products. So this is the shampoo and conditioner. I have gone through one set of these already, so I've gone and repurchased them. And I will say, I will probably continue to use these until the next major hair event, because I have had my hair bleached before. Once I had an undercut that I had bleached and then colored multiple times, and that hair, I don't know if it was because it was long, I don't know if it was the quality of the bleaching or my hair at the time, but genuinely, my hair was so dry and frizzy and tangled. It was a little bit of a nightmare. When I got this hair bleach, I was expecting the same kind of quality to my hair, but you can't tell without touching it, but it genuinely, at the moment, is just like my normal hair. It feels like my normal hair. If I close my eyes and I ran my hands through it, it would feel like my hair when it was black. I feel like partially it might be treatments that my hairdresser put in when I was getting bleached, but partly I think it is these products, because every time I wash my hair, the conditioner especially feels so soft once it's in my hair and it's like doing its thing. And the only thing that I learned that I have to watch out for now that I have blonde hair is when your hair is wet, you can't like rake it, which is what I used to do with my normal hair, because it's most prone to breakage. And I had heard this before, but because my natural Asian hair is so strong and so healthy in its natural state, I would literally, when I was shampooing, I would like scrub my head like this, and when I was putting in conditioner, I would run my hand through my hair like this. And the first few times I did it, it was so scary because literally every time I did this, like a clump of hair would fall out, like so much hair, and I was freaking out. I'd text my hairdresser being like, "Oh my god, like is it all gonna fall out? Is it a delayed reaction?" And he was like, no, but like next time we can maybe just delay your root treatment for a little bit longer so there's not as much overlap. It might just be like normal breakage. And I kind of figured out that I just need to like get in there and scrub like this and not like pull at the hair when I'm washing it. So it could be a combination of me just being nicer to my hair, the products being really good. But personally, I really like the quality of these products. I think they do a really good job for my hair. I also recommend there's like a little, it's a really expensive treatment, but I did use that in the first period of time when I first went blonde, and I do think that made a big difference. I would just put it on when my hair is damp, and I have heard good things about other people's experiences with it. So if you wanted to try that out as well and you have newly treated hair, you can give that a go. And the last thing that I will say in advocacy of these products is I have had many people tell me that my hair smells really, really nice, and it is literally just these products. It doesn't really smell like anything that is very singularly top of mind. Like I couldn't tell you what the scent is, but it just smells really clean and fresh. I think that's the best way I can describe it. It doesn't smell too far from what Pantene normally smells like, but when I'm sleeping at night or when I have my hair near my nose or near my face, I can catch a whiff of it, and it does smell just genuinely really nice. So if you're into that too, don't worry, this does have a nice scent as well. So for makeup, I have two cleansing solutions. One is the Garnier Skin Active Waterproof Makeup Remover, and one is the Bioderma Micellar Water, I assume. I have been using micellar water. If you've seen my vlogs in the past, I have a habit of cleaning my face with micellar water and taking off my makeup generally when I get home on days that I go out. So I usually buy micellar water in some shape or form. The Garnier waterproof one, I'm pretty sure I got because I needed a waterproof makeup remover to take off my mascara, which is a waterproof mascara. But I don't actually think this one is very good in terms of waterproof makeup because like my mascara is truly waterproof. I can't explain to you, like it's so stubborn when I take it off. I literally have to use a specific eye makeup remover. So I think I ended up just using this one as a regular micellar water anyway, which meant I was like, why would I bother buying a 3-in-1 that's slightly waterproof if I can just buy a waterproof makeup remover for the eyes and then just regular micellar water for the skin. So I think this is the one I'm currently using. I don't go out that often anymore, so I'm not using my micellar water. So I'm not going through my micellar water that crazily. But I don't mind it. I don't really see that much of a difference between Bioderma and Garnier micellar water. I probably will just buy whichever one is cheapest next. But yeah, must have gone out a lot last year because I went through 2 bottles of micellar water. Next in makeup is this. It is the Media eyebrow pencil, and I literally bought these from Japan. The first time I went to Japan with my friend, I didn't bring an eyebrow pencil, or I think I lost it and I had to buy a replacement one at just like the local 7-Eleven or like a supermarket, and I just picked the first one that I saw, and genuinely I have been using this exact eyebrow pencil since then, and that was probably like almost 10 years ago. And every time I go back to Japan, or every time one of my friends goes to Japan, I ask them to bring me like 3 of these back so that I can continue using them. They're just really chill as an eyebrow pencil. It's like, they're not too colored, but then they're really buildable. They kind of stay on quite well, but they brush out really nice. Like, I really have nothing to complain about. Plus they're really cheap. I think the color is a relatively good match for me. I used to do like those Shin-chan eyebrows with like a proper hourglass eyebrow pencil, and it was way too dark for me. So I think this is just like the perfect eyebrow pencil, and it's really small and light and easy to carry, and I just bring a spoolie with me. Like, you really can't lose. I'll probably keep using this eyebrow pencil for everyday looks until I die. Like, no complaints whatsoever. And there's one more category, which is kind of like miscellaneous toiletries. There's only 2 products in here, but I did finish using them, so I wanted to include them in the empties. Now, if you've ever seen me in a video and you're like,
damn, that girl has good chompers,
I want you to know that part of that is attributed to just general good oral hygiene, and I literally floss every single day, which is why I have a holy grail floss. But it is literally the Oral-B Glide Advanced Multi-Protection Floss in Clean Mint. This is like such a random item, but I literally bought a packet of this when I was at Costco once, when I was like maybe in high school. And the thing about this, and I can't show you unless I get like a proper packet out, is the floss itself is a little thicker. So if you go and buy general floss, it's almost like a wire. Like, you could use it to like kill someone. It's like one of those. But this one, it comes in more of like a tape. Like, it's kind of like a flat, wider tape. And so it's got a little bit more area, and it doesn't hurt as much when it's on your finger, when it's in your gums. You can really like get some movement in there when you're flossing. And I personally just really like it. So I used to buy like an 8-pack from Costco whenever I went and I needed to refill, but I think they literally stopped selling this at Costco. So I think now I have to go buy the singles from Chemist Warehouse or something. I really hope they don't discontinue it, because every other floss I've tried, it's just too thin and it's too like spiky because of it, and I'm just not a fan. Like, I like me a substantial floss because I got me some substantial teeth and gums. And the last product is a big boy. It is the Cetaphil Moisturizing Lotion 1.5 liter value pack that you can only get from Chemist Warehouse. Don't buy it anywhere else. Literally, it's the cheapest if you just get this from Chemist Warehouse. I've done the maths. I have a confession. I used to literally not know that I had to moisturize my body after a shower, or like after getting wet, like at a pool or something, because I just was never taught to moisturize my body. I was taught to moisturize my face and take very good care of my face, but I didn't know you also have to moisturize your body. And I used to have like scaly skin on my legs, and I thought that was just like my skin. Like, you know, people have different skin types, people are built different. But it literally was just because I wasn't moisturizing my legs. And so my partner got me onto moisturizing my body as soon as we started dating, because like I would go to his place and I would see his giant moisturizer and I'd be like, what is that? Like, why do you have such a big pump of like moisturizer for your face? And he was like,
Do you not moisturize your body after you shower?
and I was like, moisturize my body? Why would I do that? It's such a big area, but I now use this after every shower, pretty much every night. I have no complaints. I think it's good value for money. I think it does the job. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. It keeps me moisturized, I think. I would be down to try other body moisturizers if they also came in like a substantial amount for a good value for money, easy to use applicator, accessible for me to buy, and generally just like low fuss. Like, you know, some moisturizers you put it on, you have to wait because it's like an oil, you have to wait for it to dry down and stuff like that. Like, I'm a medium maintenance girl. I don't have time to be putting on luxurious creams and slipping into a silk robe. Like, I got places to be, I got people to see. So for now, it's the Cetaphil cream. If you have anything better, please leave your recommendation down below. I am always down to find more holy grails or to upgrade my holy grails. But in the meantime, I do recommend the Cetaphil Value Pack Body Moisturizer. And I think that is pretty much it. I'm pretty sure there are other products that I used last year that maybe I just threw the casing away for because I was maybe on a trip or I just forgot. So there is a chance that that is not the full list of all the toiletries, makeup, hair care, skincare items that I used last year. But it is a relatively comprehensive list, and I hope that you found some nice new products from it for yourself. With that being said, thank you so much for being here for this time, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye! I thought for this... Wow, 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 wow.